Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to be looking at a Zerg vs. Terran here today. Action in the bottom left, saying hi to Royal in the top left. Should be a great game. Action, I think, has amazing Zerg vs. Terran. Like I've said several times, I think he's kind of back. He's back to his really strong form. Loving watching his games once again. It's great to see because he's such a strong late game Zerg that does mix in some strong all-ins from time to time. So definitely a dangerous player. And of course, Royal, you know, I almost feel like I've, in my mind, a little bit relegated him to a Terran vs. Zerg sniper. He has really great TVZ. It's by far his most winning matchup, like in ASL, let's say. He has some really kind of teched out good builds that he uses. I don't want to like pigeonhole him into that. Obviously, all of his matchups are good. But yeah, it should just make for a pretty thrilling match because of that. You know, I think Action, it's very hard to kill him early on. He's really good at getting into the later game. And that's kind of where Royal excels. So I guess we'll just see if he's able to get that critical damage early on, or maybe Royal just plays a regular game too. SK Terran has been making a revival. Look at that SCV get stuck. It happens to everybody. This SCV, just the corner of it got stuck underneath this SCV while this SCV was mining, and there's not much you can do. Like, you could send it over here to mine, but then it's like on top of these SCVs, and it just takes a long time, so you just gotta wait 4 or 5 seconds. Whatever you want to do that SCV, 4 or 5 seconds late, bro. Sorry. That's Terran. All right, so, and you might try to say, oh, that's Protoss too. No, the SCVs are wider, so they actually get stuck way more than the other workers. Yeah, looks like just hatch first. Wall in here for Royal. No gas or anything, so maybe it is just going to be straight up normal SK. We'll see if it's like a +1 rush or something. That's definitely something he likes to do. He's not as much of an academy first guy. Definitely the fast. I've seen him go academy first for Valkyrie rushes, because you can't really go +1 for Valkyrie rushes. Like, if you're going to do a Valk timing attack, it's generally Academy into that factory. But yeah, if it's straight bio, oftentimes he goes for that quick +1. As far as Action goes, he definitely mixes in occasionally some cheese. Like, 2-hatch Lurker is one that I think he uses a little bit too much. I think that's one of the weakest builds that there is. The higher level you get, the worse it is. It should honestly not really ever work. But things that aren't supposed to ever work still work in StarCraft because the game is hard. So sometimes a bad decision is a good decision, I guess. Sometimes a bad decision will win the game is a better way to put that. You can make minus EV decisions and get a good result. That is definitely something that happens. Hey, look at that. It's a quick +1 build. Yeah. I mean, that's Royal for you. That doesn't say that he won't go Valkyries. There is a possibility he'll go Valks, but more likely only if it's like a Mutalisk all-in-ish type of play or a Guardian Rush type of thing. Anyways, looking over at Action, just quick layer. Yeah, nothing too far out of the ordinary. And the thing is, neither of these builds can really do anything to each other until the Mutalisks fly over. That's just the nature of it. It's like you're really banking on the +1. You're standing behind your wall for the most part. And there's, you know, not a ton of play that can occur. So while we wait for that to build up, thanks guys for watching ArtosisCasts. I really appreciate you guys tuning in every day and really loving StarCraft. It's the best game ever, so thanks. Please do make sure you subscribe if you haven't. It does help the channel. I hope that you get recommended or have those notifications on or whatever it might be that brings you to watch the casts. Yeah, I've been trying to improve the channel. I honestly don't know exactly what to do next because we got the player IDs up there. We got the colors for them as well now. And I mean, if anyone has suggestions, you can leave it. I'm not 100% going to do anything that gets suggested, but you know, it once it sits in my mind, there's a chance of it happening. You kind of have to think it over and be like, all right, what does that actually look like? You know, does that improve the channel a lot, that type of thing? And I think actually these IDs have, and I've figured out a way to do it really quickly at the beginning of every game. So It actually has worked out super well, so thank you guys for really talking about that for months, honestly, before I tried to include it, and then mentioning that they really needed the colors. I never even thought of that. But, yeah, thank you to that as well. So, action. Third hatch in main, okay. Muta's being made. Carapace upgrade. This is funny. This is funny. So, once upon a time, this was good before Valkyries were being used. Then everyone switched to +1. Attack instead of +1 carapace in Zerg vs. Terran. I used to call it battle Zerg when people got carapace. It's like they would just go fast carapace, and that would kind of work well against the fast +1 attack. And, you know, obviously it takes a while to go in, but you're more likely to be able to sit and actually fight with your Mutalisks rather than only micro them. Now, I want to say that I think that he went for the carapace because he sees like, oh, this is a walled game. It's royal. The odds of Valkyrie Rush are relatively high. And if it's not a Valkyrie Rush, like the thing is, I don't know okay, both these guys are like top pros. So they play each other a lot. They see each other play a lot. I don't know if they actually, because I study the players because I am a commentator, and obviously I'm trying to get better too. But like I really study players deeply. So I don't know if he realizes the frequency with which he is correct to go for the +1 carapace. I want to say that he is, but you guys would be surprised how often there have been situations where like I'm 100% sure someone's going to do something, and then like even the coaches, well, back when they were still coaches, wouldn't know that's going to occur because they just don't study the opponents as much, I guess. Anyways, this is, in my opinion, a very good call because it was likely to be Valkyrie, and it is +1 attack, so this could be very helpful for him when it finishes. Anyways, enough of that. My back is getting sore from all the padding I'm giving it. Now, the Marines just kind of force things back. Now, this is cool. Oh, damn. Okay, so he went 3 racks into factory with a fast +1. The only other player I've seen do this is Mihu. And I have actually tested this, and I think it's very good. Basically, if you go for only 3 racks, you still kind of get some of the pluses of the +1 being fast, because you're going to get +1 fast and everything, and then you fight against lurkers a lot better as well. It just kind of powers up your Marines. But one of the problems with this can be like a very slow +2 sometimes, slower vessels, slower dropships. So he's actually gone for just the 3-rack play. And seriously, Mihu was the first player to start doing this. So if this becomes a thing in the Korean scene, it was Mihu first, guys. 100%. You can definitely find games of Mihu doing this build from over a year ago on this channel. So very cool to see Royal trying this. We'll see how well it fares, but I like it. I think it's a very cool build. Just making sure I'm not missing another rack. It's like, Artosis, you couldn't see it? The 4th rack was on the screen. I'm like, what? Okay, so we have the additional base here for action. He's got a couple lurkers already at that ramp, so that's going to be pretty hard to break through. Only 2 lurkers here, but he's got the 3 Sunkens as well. Definitely, I've pointed out some Zergs lately in these casts that won't have the Sunkens. The Sunkens really help a lot. They're going to be very hard to break that, even though it's kind of lurker light at the moment. Hive is on the way. Evolution Chamber coming up here for action. Those Starport add-ons are almost done, as well as the Science Facility, so Royal definitely going to be getting into some Science Vessels. I'd actually very much like to see him throw down a second eBay as well, but we'll see how quickly he wants to do that, because he has... Oh! He goes double dropship first. This might be because of the lateness of the second gas, because he just didn't quite have a good gas count to try to get 2 vessels. Oh! And he actually canceled the 2 dropships and started 2 vessels. That's interesting. You know what I think that was, actually? And we've seen this before. This wasn't done, so he started the dropships in case he realized he wanted them, and then just, when this finishes, he cancels and makes the dropships. I mean, the science vessels. That's fascinating. Because there could be situations where you suddenly look in and say, actually, those dropships will do well. Like, if the mutas really commit, like, let's say the mutas really fight and they lose a lot of mutas, or maybe the mutas are way up here, and you think they're going to kind of stay up here and harass, suddenly the dropships could become a really valid play. But when the mutas are not reduced in number, or they're in position, dropships become really, really weak. So it's good that he did cancel. But that was a cool move. I love seeing stuff like that. Okay, +2 attack is on the way, as well as a Radiate. Third base being taken very quickly here from Royal. The lurkers spread out. A little bit of anti-drop lurkers, and then, of course, just lurkers at that ramp. This is a lot of Marines and Medics with +1. He actually, there's like a world in which he might be able to get up that ramp if nothing else is there. Mutas fly through the center, and the Marines kind of catch them. Couple Evos consume on the way. Stacked lurkers now. Nidus Canal coming up. Ooh, you actually delayed this command center. That is super annoying. You know, I think that most of the time the first 2 irradiates should be used on the mutas. Not always, but like the mutas, like a good player with the mutas will recognize that you're trying to radiate other things and just keep the mutas still active and do things like kill SCVs making depots, you know, kill SCVs at expansions, scout around and just find random Marines that are on the map scouting, things like that. Like, look, these are actually being really useful still. Few defilers coming up. Lurker is there. He's moved over one of those anti-drop lurkers. Yeah, moves a defiler here as well. Double additional hatchery coming up. Oh, I think he just got a vessel, and he just got a second one. These mutas have been unbelievable. The slowing of this, getting rid of the SCV that wanted to go up here. He finally gets another one up here. I think he's just going to expand up there, honestly. But also getting a couple more vessels is amazing usage. Now, the Mutalisk count is low enough. I feel like you might want to make some dropships soon. It looks like he is going to go into Battlecruisers. Second engineering bay coming up. Now, Battlecruisers actually can work with dropships insanely well. If you go Battlecruiser, and then you go dropship, and you attack move the Battlecruisers to the south, and then load up the dropships and bring them, they will get there as the Battlecruisers are in here, because there's always, like, at least one Overlord in between, and the Battlecruisers are slow. So the Battlecruisers actually clear Scourge and allow you to unload. So actually, they can work together really well. I don't know if he'll go for that, but just a little side idea. Now, 3 lurkers here under Dark Storm, a lot of lings, very good defense from Action. He's got a lot of units here ready to either run down to help or go back in the Nidus to help out his main base. Tons of Marines and Medics coming over. He's got 3-2 on the way with 2-1 done. The upgrades here, the lings are just +1 carapace. Let's find a lurker this burrowed. No plus ranged attacks. Chitinous plating on the way. Not surprised to see that. Feels like Action never really got into the Hydra Lurker Defiler meta that much. Really has always felt like he likes going into Ultras. He's very much an Ultra user. He uses Crazy Zerg a really good amount as well. He's one of the only Zergs that seems to realize how good Crazy Zerg truly is. Getting a very good defense. You see this? He realizes that there's Battlecruisers that are going to be coming. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Group of Marine Medic up here, going to be able to hold the front of this new base. He's actually got a pretty good spread of units. A couple units up here as well, a bunch of units here with his vessels. Probably should put a few units out in the front to drag plagues. Good amount of fire bats. In case lings start walking up. Ooh, really good plague, really good plague. Very good zoning play going on. I'm interested to see as well. He has a third Battlecruiser being made a little bit later, so it won't quite line up. 3 Battlecruisers is insanely strong. 1 is actually kind of weak. 1 gets picked off pretty easily. 2 does really well. 3 does insanely well. Like at 3, you actually need like dedicated defenses. A lot of people have been starting to do 3 starport for their first Battlecruiser group. Okay, so there's a lot of irradiates going down, and look at this. Okay, he's getting Science Vessel Energy, which we've talked about recently. He's getting +1 ship attacks, which is actually, he's late on starting that. I forgot about this. The Scourge had +1 carapace. Oh no, he canceled it. He canceled it. Remember when we got +1 flyer carapace on the way earlier, and I was talking about it and how smart it was of Action to go for it? And now he doesn't have it, so the Battlecruisers don't actually need the +1. But actually, when people are going Battlecruisers, it is smart to get the +1. Because if they have +1 armor on the Scourge, they take 2 shots. As soon as you have +1 attack on Battlecruisers, they one-shot Scourge for the rest of the game, no matter the armor upgrades. So just a little side note there. Really important that they one-shot Scourge. That's why it's really hard for Zerg to kill Battlecruisers. If they didn't one-shot Scourge, Battlecruisers would be garbage because Scourge would just counter them. Okay, so right now, we have a lot of Lurkerling in here. Quite a few Lurkers still kind of sitting in the front. He is focusing on irradiating Lurkers, which I think is really smart as well. Like, if you're irradiating the Lurkers, you're forcing them to make more. Lurkers only cost a little bit less gas than a Defiler. So it can be really good to do because, like, it's always good to make Defilers. And when you're going into Ultras, you only want a few Lurkers left. Like, you don't want to be spending a ton of money on that. So he's actually going to go in and try to bust here with Fire Bats, it looks like. Really good timing. These Fire Bats doing a fantastic job. More Ling's going to start popping out. The Lurker's trying to come down the ramp. He's trying to kind of hold him back. And yeah, he is going to have to be pushed back. He didn't have quite enough Fire Bats there. But during this time, these Marines get a lot of kills up there on the mineral patches. Another Plague goes down, kind of misses. And in fact, Restoration. I tried the Epic Zoom in and messed it up. Restoration barely taking any damage. Really quick play there from Royal. Love to see it. In the meantime, Ultralisk Speed is on the way. Did he already get the... Yeah, he already got chitinous plating. And he has +3 carapace coming as well. A lot of Battlecruisers being made. Battlecruisers will be useful throughout the game here. But we might, if this game goes really big, and it's looking honestly like it might. Like, we're getting a lot of bases here. And we have action breaking out, so he'll start making more hatcheries like here and maybe here. Battlecruisers actually will be really useful until quite a few Hydras start coming out. Then it would be like Plague, Hydra, like Plague, Hydra, Ultra. I don't know why I couldn't think of the Ultra's name. Space Cow. Space Cows and Hydras and Plagues. Anyways, the Ultras run away here. This was actually pretty sloppy, taking a lot of damage. He already has his +3, so it's one-sided until they finish their +3. It's definitely an important thing to remember. The upgrades are probably more important in Ultraverse Marine than anything else that I can think of. It just changes the dynamic of the fights instantly. You definitely need all the carapace upgrades. So throwing down some more Irradiates here. He's trying to trade efficiently while he can. That +3 carapace not quite done yet. Lots of units still moving down. Barracks up here only. 3 starport, 4 starport. I love it. I love the 4 starport play. I am not a fan of adding factories at this stage of the game against this type of unit comp. The Ultras are just, they're not bad at you can't just add siege tanks late and counter Ultras. It doesn't work. Like, you have to go proper mech to counter Ultras. So yeah, I really like that he's actually staying on mostly starport plus barracks production. The BC's doing a great job adding in their damage. I would love to actually see Battlecruiser energy because, like, honestly, every time that he can... And look at those restorations, man. Dude. Amazing. But anyways, yeah, a lot of Hydras are coming out now, so it's getting a little bit harder. But this is where having a lot of Yamatos can be really good. Yamato one-shots almost everything Zerg has. Like, not Devourers or Ultras, but everything else. So, like, even under Dark Swarm. See? So I think it's really useful. Like, if you get... If that helps you get even one more Yamato off, the upgrade is worth it. So in my opinion, if you're actually going to go heavy BCs for a long time, you should always get the energy upgrade. Now, he's trying to come forward and break through here. A lot of Irradiates going down, even on some Hydralisks, to kind of soften these up for the BCs. And actually, that one's doing amazing. Oh my god, he gets like 4 Hydralisks with that 1 EMP. So many Battlecruisers in here. This is a crazy game. Action having a really hard time breaking through. He has gotten a 5th gas, which is important, but we're about to run out of gas in his main. In fact, it just did run out, and this one's getting very low as well. You know, it's right around 21, 22 minutes generally that the natural mines out of gas for Zerg, and you really need to get a couple more bases by then. So that's kind of like a big winning window for Terran, I think, is just like if you survive that long and kind of keep them back, they start to have to utilize like a lot lower gas units like Lings and Hydras. Ling Hydra Defiler at that point suddenly. They can't quite make what they were making before because they're running out of those geysers. Now, we have a lot of Marines kind of being pushed back. Great Plague goes down. We'll see if you can actually do anything there. Now... Oh, sorry for that little blip. Okay, so this great, like, round of units here, like, notice how he's kind of keeping an arc. He's going to try to go in and break again. Like I said before, you know, your lurker count gets smaller at these stages. It's hard to keep replacing them. But he's hitting some huge irradiates. He's keeping this army alive. I feel like maybe there might be a play where action could... Oh, the Nidus has died. If he could get some units out here... Oh, the Battlecruiser went into the main base. That's what happened. Maybe he could do a counterattack, like, up from this side of the map because there's so much attention here. But honestly, he's actually cleared almost everything now. The Battlecruisers are still here, but yeah, the Dark Storm between Plague and Hydra, you should be able to take them out. And they even have +1 now on those Hydras, so that's definitely helpful. The Medic's trying to make it out. A huge amount of bio coming from this base. He's been building that for a really long time. Empties out all but one bunker. More units coming from top left as well. Saves those Medics, which is incredibly important. Would love to see the Medic energy upgrade, by the way. I think it's actually, late game, really, really good. Now, throws down a Darkstorm, but there's actually Fire Bats under there. So that was that was kind of like AutoCast, right? Like, just his hands do it. But probably not the best right there. Now, throws down another one, but not enough Lings to break the Fire Bats. Is Royal just going to break him here despite having all these bases? He actually has valuable units there at 6. It looks like this natural is going to be taken out. Or maybe not, actually. Like an Ultra under Dark Swarm, like you can get it with the Fire Bats, but it takes a while, as you can see. They do not deal that much damage to it. The Marines, if they could target something else, like realistically, he should just control-click the Marines and right-click the hatch or something. Let the Fire Bats try to clear this. Yeah, Orwin and Lurker could be strong here. He's got a lot of Fire Bats still. He gets rid of that. Okay, and he did eventually right-click there. So he gets rid of this hatchery. Action is not quite dead, I think, though, because he does have that 6 o'clock base. Like, this is really good for Royal. Royal hasn't lost anything in a long time. He's got an unbelievable bank. He's actually adding 1 million factories because he just needs to be able to make, like, anything. I would love to see him throw down add-ons and get, like, siege mode as well as speed and mines. Because situations like this, if anything starts to go south, you could suddenly just make, like, 5 siege tanks immediately, or just in the same amount of time, you know, make a bunch of vultures and throw mines down, and suddenly you're not going to quite be broken. You're going to continue some cost efficiency there. Once again, the Medics trying to get out. A lot of Battlecruisers coming down with the Science Vessels, with the Marines and Medics. Just some great play here from Royal. This is such good TVZ. I just love the choices he's made here as well with the starports. And even at this point, like adding the factories when he has a bank this large. Look at this, 5K, 3K. Action still has a lot of supply. It doesn't seem to me like he's going to find a way to win this game, though. Now that we have this type of production going on everywhere for Royal, who, by the way, snipes a hatch, excuse me, that I hadn't even seen taken. You know, between the Battlecruisers just applying this pressure, the fact that he still has vessels in here hitting these irradiates as well, it's just so good, so strong play. Oh, pick some of those off. You know, if he can come up, plague these, throw down a Dark Swarm, pick them off with the Hydras and everything. Catching the Medics would be big. He actually has time to catch the Medics, then turn around and possibly get the Battlecruisers as well. That is a possibility. I think he's trying to go after this, or maybe he wants a counterattack. Maybe he feels like he needs to clear some bases to have a chance this game, get rid of some of that mining. And he will be able to knock this out super fast. There are about, what, 6 tanks on the way? I guess I could have just looked at the production tab. But anyways, the tanks come out, and he will start sieging up. I think there's enough here for Royal to hold on, especially with the spread of these siege tanks being important. Because, like, you can throw a couple of Dark Storms down and knock out things that are close by, but these back ones will continue to rain down their damage. More tanks on the way. Huge, massive amount of fire bats attacking in. GG is called. Royal takes this one down. That was a crazy game. That is what I want to see in a TVZ. That is like literally exactly it. Beautiful, beautiful game from both sides. Wow. That pressure of all those BCs coming down as well as all their raids. Just great starport production. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.